There are four general angles from which my article has been critiqued. First, many take aim at Rheims' framework itself, and I don't really want to get bogged down on that issue too much, especially since I don't overly rely on it in my own thinking about these matters. In previous publications, I focused much more on stages and developments in post-Christian or post-Christendom societies. But I do think Wren has provided a service to put some language on pretty self-evident shifts in our culture's relationship to evangelicalism and Christian moral and social teachings in the past decades, providing a simple, helpful heuristic to describe a certain stage on the path to a more fully post-Christendom society, one which, he argues, has seen acute acceleration in the past decade. Just a couple examples to describe this. Not long ago, it really did seem like many Democrats wanted abortion to be rare.
We can support a woman's right to choose that makes abortion safe, legal, and rare, and reduces the number of abortions.
And one could even find pro-life Democrats in Congress. Now, any restriction on abortion is denounced as Christian nationalism. And on sex and gender issues, in 1996, Joe Biden voted in support of the Defense of Marriage Act.
I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that.
And then in 2008, during his vice presidential run, he openly opposed same-sex marriage.
Senator, do you support gay marriage?
No.
Now he supports it, and now in 2022 as president, he's basically all in on the trans agenda. Some might say, well, this just focuses on sex and gender issues, but in matters of awareness of racial injustice, our society is moving closer to the biblical vision. I think this is incorrect. The civil rights movement explicitly appealed to Christian teachings on justice, and part of its success was due to the fact of a broad cultural consensus that the Bible's views on these issues mattered. But it seems now that Christians are adopting secular frameworks on these things. Another accusation is that my advocacy for a different approach, for a different context, signals that I'm succumbing to pragmatism. I think this is the least serious critique. And it's quite ironic coming from those devoted to Keller and his framework, because it is Keller himself who taught me more than anyone else about the importance of contextualization. I don't believe that he ever imagined or promoted his approach as the absolute, universal, final way to approach ministry and cultural engagement. Another charge I've seen is this: haven't we always been in negative world? Hasn't the church always faced opposition? What about the early church and the hostility it faced? Well, one of my presuppositions is that there is a difference between a pre-Christian and a post-Christian context, and I think we still need to do quite a bit more thinking about what this means. Keller has already provided some resources with his teachings on inoculation against Christian beliefs, as partial exposure to Christian teachings provides a certain defense against the real thing. Alongside this, I believe a residual memory of Christian cultural dominance makes it easy to blame Christianity for our ongoing social ills. These all lead to a strong resistance to any attempt to promote moral norms for the social ordering. This neuters not just our witness, but also socio-political engagement for the common good. Our pursuit of justice and service of God and neighbor will be met with hostility that we won't be able to ultimately avoid. And I don't believe the winsome third way model prepares us sufficiently for political action in this context. A church obsessed with appearing winsome will be tempted to over-accommodate secular culture's negative propaganda against Christian moral teaching. This will fail our neighbors.